10 years, but it's been a lifelong calling for him. So he's very excited and very experienced in the realm of manifesting miracles, which is what his talk is about today. And what we are is we're the Ezekiel Center. We are a nonprofit organization, and in that organization, we teach people how to overcome blocks, barriers, and belief systems that no longer serve us. So a lot of times people notice that they've got things that repeat in their life, like situations that kind of keep coming up. Everybody's nodding, like, yeah, I get it. I have had that. I've had that too. Or we've noticed certain types of people that keep reappearing at different times in our life with different faces, right? That person that irritated you then, they show up again somewhere else in your life, in a different body, the same irritation. You get it, right? So this is something that is a repeating pattern there for a reason. And that frustration that you feel inside, you're allowed to feel it. The anger sometimes we feel with things like this, repeating situations, you're allowed to feel it. These are gifts that have been given to you, and they're meant to be used. It's a tool for part of your life, for what living life is all about here on the planet. And manifesting miracles is the secret of how you use that tool, right? How you use those emotions to your benefit, because they've been given to you for a reason. So that's something that we teach at the Ezekiel Center. Dr. Dan is going to be here to talk to you about that, how we do that, what that means for you, what that means for a lot of the different people that we've helped in the past. We've helped people overcome job transition, rape, lots of other very deep emotional situations that have come up in their life, abuse, things like that. So, without further ado, I'm not here to speak to you. Dr. Dan is here to speak to you. He is super lively. I love it when he speaks. You never know what's going to come out of his mouth. So, I'm very pleased to announce Dr. Dan.
Welcome, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Yes. We all want miracles in our lives. We all want those things to come into our world that we say, that's straight from divinity. That happened for a reason. That came into our life at the right time, in the right space, with the right energy, with the right intent. It's magical. It appears seemingly out of nowhere at just the right time, and we say, oh, God bless, thank you so much. It's the saving grace. It came at specifically the time that I needed. What happens all the other times in our lives? What happens the rest of the time? We say, my life's not working the way I want. I don't have the job that I want. I don't have the income I want. I don't have the relationship I want. The health, the vitality, the energy, the drive, we're getting by and we're coping and we're wondering why things in our life aren't materializing the way that we desire, that we want them to be, that we envision when we're all little. We had these goals, we had these dreams, and we had ambitions, didn't we? We had an idea of how our life was going to turn out to be. And a lot of times, they fall short. Other times, it hits the mark. But we notice some areas we hit the mark on. In other areas of our life, not so much. So why? What's the defining factor? We tell our dramas, our traumas, our stories to our friends and our families, and whoever will listen. You've got the friends that will listen to you, the family members at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever hour it is that you want to vent your frustrations. I can't believe what this person did. I can't believe what they said. My life is this way because they did that and they said this, and if they wouldn't have done that, then all these things wouldn't have happened to me in my world. Can we all relate to that? At some point in time or another, we want to point the finger. We want to say, it's their fault. You know, I'm here because of what they said. Because of what they did or what they didn't do, and what they should have done, and what they should have kept their obligation. They should have kept their promise, but they didn't do that. And I'm going to hold on to anger, and I'm going to hold on to frustration, and I'm going to hold on to resentment, and I'm going to hold on to fear. And I'm going to hold on to all those negative level state vibrations, the lower vibrations. Actually, don't like to call any of the emotional states positive or negative. It's your intent and how you use them. Now that's, if you're taking notes, that's the beginning portion of manifesting miracles. Because when we disconnect, when we fragment from ourselves, when we fragment from those aspects of ourselves and we say, this part of me I love, this part of me no one's going to see till the day I die. I'm going to put it in a closet, and not even my spouse, not my best friend, well maybe my best friend, but most people, the 99% of people, even my best friend, won't see this part because I don't like it. I disown it, we shun it, we put it away, we lock it away, and we hide it forever. Whatever you hide from, whatever you fragment from, whatever you disconnect from is ultimately the thing that is going to keep you from manifesting the things that you want in your life. Because that's an aspect of you that you've denied, and it will continue to show up in your world until you decide that you're going to find gratitude for it and ultimately love it. Find gratitude and love for the things that I don't like. You're crazy. Not going to happen. But it can, and it does, and we can show you how. With an open mind and an open heart. See, the Creator, God, the universe, whatever energy you choose to call, Almighty, the grand orchestrator of the universe, the one that has the grand plan, doesn't give you anything in your life without a positive intent. You've all heard the phrase, God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. Now, some people choose to tap out on their own accord, but that doesn't mean that they can't handle it. There's a big difference, isn't there? Let's teach you how to handle it, but more importantly, not just handle it. Find the kernel of love and wisdom that's contained within the nuggets that you once felt was a big pile of poo in your life. The things that you felt, how could this happen to me? Why me? How many of you have felt at one point in time or another the why me? We've all had that. Why you? Why not you? Well, why would you say that? I've had some pretty lousy things happen to me. What do you mean, why me? That's a lousy thing to say. No, actually, if you've been given some pretty heavy challenges in life, it's because the Creator knows that you're capable of handling it and rising and transcending above it, and you have that potential, you have that seed in you, you have that God-given gift within you laying dormant to be able to handle anything in your life that the Creator throws at you, and rising above it to create those miracles that you so desire, so that you so passionately want your life to make those changes that you're looking, my God, where is my abundance? It's around the corner. Keep digging. You're almost there. Don't stop. It's right there. If you just look a little bit further, you're almost there. But people quit. They quit right before they strike gold, right before they get to feel the diamonds. Don't do that. Let's transcend it. Let's find out why these things are in your life in the first place. Why do they manifest to give you the gifts, the hidden gems that ultimately you'll be uncovering? What hidden gifts? Oh my gosh, what's going on? What are you talking about, hidden gifts? The hidden gifts are the things that you once thought was a burden, punishment, a liability, an issue, a torch to bear, a cross to bear, the burden that you've been saddled with, karmic debt, whatever you want to label, all these things that we've been taught by our society. And by the way, the feelings that you feel when you get upset, when you get frustrated, that you've been told were wrong, you're entitled to feel them. And that's where people fragment from themselves, is when they've been told they're not allowed to feel. They're not allowed to have those emotional spaces. And those are the very key things that stop you from manifesting the miracles in your life. Because until you're grateful for what you have, it's very difficult to receive more. It's very difficult, if not possible, to achieve the things you're wanting to achieve in life that you aspire to be, do, and have. The better relationships, the health, the finances, all the abundance, all the manifestations, all the things in your life that you're looking to not only bless yourself with, but how many of you also want to bless others in your life? have to own your pieces. You have to own your fragments. You have to own the things in yourself that you once thought you could never do before, and it's easier than you might think. To be able to look at a situation and say, oh my gosh, without that happening in my life, I wouldn't have met my spouse. I wouldn't have my best friend. I wouldn't have gotten my education. I wouldn't have gone to this place or that place or met these group of people, live in this home, move to this town, have all these amazing supportive groups of friends, being in a wonderful environment like this in this wellness expo, to be able to share light and love with people. If that never happened, it never would have led me down this trail. If that one thing that I was complaining about and cursing all this time never happened, it wouldn't have led me down a trail of self-discovery to now where I can start to share and spread the light to other people, to share the love, to share that inner soul, that inner being, to connect with the light of the Creator, to be able to manifest those miracles, because now I start reconnecting with those aspects of myself that I once shunned, and I said, no, not good enough, no one's going to see it. And when I reconnect with those aspects of myself that I once shunned, guess what? I now have a connection with each one of you, and you have a connection with each one of your fellow brothers and sisters. Because when you connect to those aspects of self that you once shunned, you now have love and compassion not only for yourself, but for other people. How do we have peace on earth? We first start by having peace within ourselves. We can't have peace on earth until we have peace within ourselves. Because until I have peace within myself, since you're a mirrored aspect of me and I'm a mirrored aspect of you, if I find something in me that's out of balance and discord and I push to the side and I don't like and I have judgment on, I'm going to have judgment on those mirrored aspects that I see within you. Does that make sense? When I love those pieces within me, I love those pieces with you, and I can have compassion with you, I can have love with you, and I can start seeing those miracles in abundance start flowing into my life, because now I'm grateful, now I'm loving, now I'm seeing the pieces coming together, now I'm seeing the wisdom come to light, I'm seeing the grand plan, I'm seeing that there's a reason for all the things that have happened in my life and how they continue to happen, no matter how dark they might seem on the surface. There's always light. You have to look for it. You have to want it. You have to want the light so bad. You have to want it more than you want your limitations and your limiting belief systems. You want to have that spark in your soul, spark in your heart, to be able to reach out to divinity and say, not just why did it happen to me, but what do you want me to do with this, and how do I use it to enrich my life and the lives of others? You ask those key questions. Watch what starts happening in your world. Watch what happens when you start becoming grateful for the little things, for gratitude drills. I love gratitude drills because that starts opening up a whole world of abundance to you. Gratitude for the seemingly small things in life, yes? Gratitude for the beautiful sunshine. Gratitude for the grass. Gratitude for the building that we're in. Gratitude to be able to speak to all of you amazing people. Gratitude to feel the love. Gratitude that I can breathe, that I can move, that I can talk. Gratitude for the ceiling and the ceiling tiles. Gratitude for the acoustics in the room. The gratitude goes on and on and on. Endless amounts of gratitude. How did you get to this venue? Did you drive? I don't care what kind of car do you have. Do you have gratitude for your car? It got you here. Do you have gratitude for your tires? I don't care if they're almost bald, it still got you here. Yes. Gratitude opens up that heart. It's the gateway, it's the key, it's the linchpin, if you will. It's the pathway to open up yourself to be able to receive that connection, that divinity from the Creator. Now, are we all connected to the Creator? Absolutely, 100%. Otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here. Mm-hmm. But people often say, I pray, and I wonder if Creator hears me. Do you really pray, or do you nag? Do you barter? What is a prayer? You can request. We would suggest that prayer is more in the form of gratitude. Prayer is more in the form of saying thank you. When you say thank you to somebody, are they more receptive to hearing it than if you're just complaining and shutting things down? They're more receptive, yes? Creator's the same way. Creator hears you no matter what. But when he sees that you're grateful for even the dramas and the traumas in your life, as well as everything else, your life begins to open and flower in ways that you can't even begin to comprehend and understand. Doors start to open, connections are made, things start to appear and manifest in your life. You're like, wow, where has that been all this time? It becomes a magical way of being, but it's connected. It's coming from a true, authentic space. Now, when you're grateful, we would suggest don't be grateful out of greed. In other words, don't say, okay, fine, I'll be grateful. I'll do this gratitude thing if it'll get me more stuff. If it'll bring that person in, if it'll bring me more money, then fine, I'll be grateful. No. Can't fake the Creator out. It has to be sincere. It has to be authentic. It has to be heartfelt. It has to be genuine. Whatever you get on top of the gratitude is a cherry on the cake. It's icing on the cake. It's that extra something special that you get for acknowledgement of the blessings that you already have, and by acknowledging what you already have, you'll be given more as a consequence of that. It's a different way of existing, isn't it? It's a different way of perception. See, when we talk about perceptions, when we talk about looking at the things in your life that you once didn't like, that you once felt was a curse to you, and then you flip that and you say, well, how's that actually a blessing? We're altering perceptions, aren't we? Mm-hmm. See, now I'll tell you, no matter what anybody has been through, no matter what you thought was the worst case scenario in your life, I promise you that there is somebody on the other side of the fence that think that that's their greatest fantasy. If you don't believe me, Google it. You'll find fetishes of all kinds of weirdness, all kinds of stuff, whatever it is, it's all out there. Here's the point. What makes one person think one thing is bad and another person think another thing is good? Now, I'm not here to justify poor or bad behavior. You all have a moral compass, and I leave that between you and the Creator. I'm not here to preach to you on what you should do or shouldn't do in your life. But what we do want you to have is a clear and concise focus as to what that direction means and should be to you. How do you spread your light unto the world? How do you be the best that you can be? How do you shine to the degree that you're literally blinding? That when you start to create those massive changes in your life, when you start to light up your world and the world of other people, then you become the shining example that people come to you and they say, I don't know what you're doing, but I want to know what it is. I want more of that. Tell me what you're doing. Teach me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing. Because I want to be as light and as bright as you are, and I want to transcend those issues in my life. See, we talk about transcendence, yes? Because we don't want anybody to get over anything. Getting over anything is one of the worst pieces of advice that anybody could ever give to you. Do you know why? Because you don't get over it. You shove it in the corner. You put it in the background of your mind. You label it. You stuff it. You put it in a box. You say, and you shove it in that closet that we talked about. We said, I'm not going to look at it, and I don't want anybody else to see it. It's going to stay hidden forever. And it's not gotten over. It's just put in a place where it festers and it grows and it creates the opportunity for all kinds of energetic turbulence within the physical body, whether it be health issues, relationship issues, financial issues. It's those things that were mentioned earlier about the patterns that keep repeating in your life over and over again, and you don't know why. You don't know why this person keeps showing up in my life in a different body. Why the finances keep coming up, and I can't get over the struggle of breaking that pattern and getting into the world of abundance. We want you to not get over anything, but to learn the lesson from it, love what the lesson was there to teach you, and then transcend it. There's a big difference between transcendence, isn't there? Because when you transcend something, it means that you've gotten what the Creator has said, what the intent was, what the love was behind whatever the dramas and traumas is in your life that you thought was once a curse and a blight onto your life. To be able to own those hidden aspects of yourself, to reintegrate, to be whole again, which is also, in a sense, part of becoming holy, because you become whole by learning to love and reintegrate all those fragmented and disconnected aspects of self that you once shunned. How different would your life be if you were more holy? How would you be able to manifest more if you were more holy, meaning that you are integrating more of those aspects within yourself? To love all those pieces, to allow yourself to feel in the proper time and space as appropriate per given situation. See, there's no positive or negative emotions. I don't care what you've heard in the past. There's vibrational levels of different emotional states. You have the lower vibrational states and the higher vibrational states. The one emotional state that you should be in all the time is love. Now, you can mix and match emotions. How many of you have been with people in your life that you love but don't particularly like? But love should always be there. Why? Because it's the transformative power to get you to where you need to be. So many people say, oh, well, I love my spouse, but I also love a hamburger, but I also love my dog, and I love my car, and I love my apartment, but the love isn't necessarily equal. So we want unconditional love, yes? But unconditional love. How do we achieve unconditional love? Because so many of us have a litany of conditions with our unconditional love. I love you so long as you do this, and if you break any of those conditions, all bets are off. Now, we can love unconditionally, but we don't necessarily have to agree or like with the actions or behavior of certain individuals. Yes or yes?
Yes.
We can love ourselves unconditionally by owning all those aspects of ourselves that we once disconnected from. People say, oh, I shouldn't be angry, it's bad. Really? What happens if you need to be angry to move your butt in a direction that if you were once stagnant in, or if you need to defend a loved one, or if you needed to get something accomplished, or do a task because you were first in an emotional state called frustration, which is a very powerful emotional state. Oh, don't talk about frustration, that's negative. Oh, but frustration is a great place to contemplate your life and say, you know, I want my life to be in a different space. How are you supposed to manifest miracles until you know where you are? Depression. Oh, don't talk to me about depression. You don't know about depression. Oh, we know about depression. Let me tell you. How else do you take an internal check within to decide what's working or not working within your life, and then use that emotional tool, that emotional complement that Creator gave you called depression to say, hey, this is what's working in my life and this isn't what's working in my life, and to take it in the healthy range, all these emotional tools I'm going to be talking about in a healthy, limited range to move you into the positive state. So now you can say, okay, I was depressed, now I'll move into frustration, and then I'll move into anger to get my butt moving. And now that I'm out of anger, because I'll put that emotional tool down, now I can pick up an emotional tool of being proud and being energized and feeling like I can take on the world and I can accomplish things and I can do things and I can do and have things I never thought or dreamed I could have before in my life. And then we use the emotional tool of ego. Oh my God, you brought up the E word. The E word in a health fair, a holistic. What are you doing? Don't talk about ego. Ego's bad. How are you supposed to have ambition, drive, use it in a healthy way, use it in the way that God intended for you to use it? Why do you have your home? Where do you have it? Why do you have your children in a school environment, in a school system, even in a private school or public school? Why did you choose your particular car, your spouse, your clothes, your level of income, your education, your job? It's all ego. There's nothing wrong with it. In balance, in proportion, the right tool for the right job. Because then you can take that ego and you say, it gets me here to my desires. Now I can table ego for a little bit, and I can have love and compassion for others while I'm helping them on my journey to achieve. And as I achieve, I help them achieve. And as we help one another, now we manifest more miracles. And you have to look for the miracles in your world. You have to look for them and see miracles in the large and the small things. So when we talk about having gratitude, it's more than just having gratitude. When was the last time you felt it? Actually paused for a moment and felt the gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful for this beautiful weather. Feeling the sun on my skin and the warmth. There's no hail. I'm so grateful there's no hail. But there is gratitude for hail because there's a lot of people that make money from people who have hail damage. So grateful that those people can earn a living and provide for their family. See, it's that balance of learning to love everything in your life, even in the things that you never imagined or thought you could. That's how you manifest the miracles. That's how you manifest the things in your world that you never dreamed that you could. It's by loving the things, large and small, that you never thought you could. I think our time is probably up.
Tell them about our booth in your book.
Come by our booth. I have a book coming out hopefully by the end of summer. It's Teachings from a Prophet. It will outline the method. We also have classes. It's ezekielcenter.org. If you guys want to come up, grab one of our cards. It's got our website. We'd love to see you. Thank you so much. If you love this, please tell everybody. If you didn't, don't tell anyone.